In this demo, we're going to have a look at a health and safety checklist that integrates into SAP. It is called Confined. Let me just find the form there. So this is the confined space checklist. How this works is this form loads up. It integrates directly with SAP right from the start, where it actually brings in information from SAP. So for example, one of the things that have come in is a list of plants that's connected to SAP to load up a bunch of plants. And when I choose a plant, I can then go and choose for a specific equipment that I want to relate this to, and that'll also come in from SAP. So let's go ahead and do that. For this demo, I'm going to use plant 3000. And then I can go and search for specific equipment. So typing in partials or perhaps even just codes, I can type certain things in and find what they are. So as an example, let's go and have a look at perhaps let's use this this monitor over here. So it's 56666. So another way I could do that is just type in 56666. And it also loads it up in that way. So a nice little way I can search for things, type in the word monitor, it'll bring me a result set, or just a couple of the code, and then it immediately finds it. What I've also done on this particular form is added C equipment notifications. If I click on that, what it does is it goes into SAP, and it'll fetch me any notifications that are already in the system for this specific notification, for this specific equipment. And as you can see at the moment, there are none. We should see that take place. And I have a one other area here is just for the demo. I'm going to go and choose myself as the approver. So when this submits it off, it's going to go for me for approval. Then I can come along into here and I can start to checklist certain items. So for example, if I come in here, and any of the no's need to become a notification within inside of SAP. So for example, does the gas monitor equipment being used? I'm going to say no. I'll say the calibration was off for this particular one. I'll say yes, this one was okay. The atmosphere was tested, yes. The gas within defined safe range, it is over the safe range, so it's going to be a no. And then the rest I'm just going to say yes. Before I submit it off, I'm just going to go and hit the submit button. And you can see we're doing a validation inside there, so making sure all the questions are answered. Another thing I can do is I can actually go and save this as a draft and come back to it a little bit later if I need to. So what we're going to do is I'm just going to hit submit, just showing a little bit of validation, saying I need to at least answer all the questions. I'm just going to go and answer that one. The other thing I could do is save this as a draft and then be able to load the draft a little bit later, so come back to it as needed. Right, so what we're going to do in this case is submit this off and let that start the process. There we go. So it's actually taking a snapshot of this form, and it's going to attach that to the workflow and send that back to the originator. So they've got a little image of what it was that they originally submitted off. At the bottom over here in my tracking, I can see that process has started. I can see where its current stage is. If I look at the little view flow, that shows me the workflow process that we've done for the demo that sits behind this. So this has been submitted off. It's now sitting at the approval stage. The manager could reject it. It'll go back to the originator, who could decide whether they want to resubmit it or if they want to cancel it. And then they could resubmit it. The manager could then recheck it, reject it, and that can kind of loop around until he's happy, where it'll then be approved. So let's move that forward. So inside of the task, you can see I've got my confined space task for number 20 sitting there, as well as if I open up my email, what you'll see over here, this is the email that's been sent for approval. So what we've done is we just included some basic details in the email, as well as attached a PDF document of the original request. So we can see the details with the checklist items inside there. It just stripped out the images in this particular case. And then they can make a decision via the email if they want to, approve or reject it if they need to. Otherwise, they can just click on a link and it takes them directly to the form that was submitted. So the form opens up. If there's been any review history, we'll see it inside here. So if it gets rejected or approved, and we'll see that build up. So people's comments as it goes along. In this particular case, I'm just going to go forward and approve this. So I can see my no's. We've got those two no's. So the one is, does your gas monitoring equipment? That's a no. And I've got, are your gas test results, with a no and a message. So let's go and approve this particular one. Let's say approve. So we can see it's been approved. Then what it's done is it's looped through all the no's that were on that list. It's created a SAP notification for them, found the next one, created a notification, and now what it's done is, once it's done all of that, it's now sending out a summary back to the originator. So if I go back to my email, and let's give that a send and receive. Here we go. So that's my notification coming back saying that has been completed against that equipment number. So I'm going to copy that into my memory. I've attached a PDF document that shows all of the items, and you'll see all the ones with no now have an SAP notification number against that. So we've got this notification number here, 1036. What I've also done is given them a link in the email that they can go, and takes them to a little form that they can go and see all the notifications against that particular equipment number. So that's at 556. You can see there's those two notifications against those particular items, and I can click on one of them, and I'm loading that detail out of SAP, so we should see the long text inside there as well. There we go. So you remember that the answer, it was over the safety range, and then this one over here, that one, the calibration was off. Right, so that's purely from the K2 form side of things. What we're now going to do is go into SAP. I've got a shortcut to display PM notification, so let's get the notification number. So let's open up that one. There we go. So that was, I just added in the text here, does the gas monitor equipment. So the question text is in here, just in the short description. And in the long description, the answer was no, the calibration was off. If we go back to the other one that we ran, this one over here. Oops. There we go. The answer was no. It was over the safety range, which is the exact same information that we captured originally on the form that have now been added into SAP against that particular equipment number. And you can see it's even filled in some of the other details based upon the equipment and other things that have gone in.